In this video, we're going to help you learn how to apply for MaineCare, and you'll soon realize that there are many different ways you can apply for MaineCare. DHHS, the Department of Health and Human Services, oversees the MaineCare program. DHHS's Southern Maine offices are located at 151 Jetport Boulevard in Portland. The offices are located right off of exit 47 of the Maine Turnpike and right near the Portland Jetport. DHHS is also accessible by public transportation by using the Greater Portland Metro. Line 5 will drop you off right in front of the building. Please note that the offices may be closed during the pandemic. If you'd like to call ahead and check their hours and to see if their offices are open, please call 207-822-2000. And before we talk about applying and qualifying for MaineCare, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about what MaineCare actually is. MaineCare is a state-sponsored health insurance coverage that provides free, low-cost health care to Mainers who meet certain requirements based on household composition and income. There are other options and other programs for people with disabilities, certain health conditions, and young adults who have been in foster care and those who need long-term care. MaineCare covers doctor visits, specialty care visits, emergency visits, substance use disorder treatment, prescription drug coverage, and more. In most cases, and with most MaineCare programs, services and medications are completely free. There are 5 ways that you can submit an application for MaineCare. You can apply online for MaineCare by going online to https://apps1.web.maine.gov/benefits/account/login.html. You can also search Google for applying for MaineCare. If you have never accessed your online account before, you will need to create an account. After you have created an account, you will be able to apply for benefits online, view information on your case, and submit changes. Number 2, you can download an application from the DHHS website, fill it out, and mail it to the DHHS office in Farmington. The address is the Office for Family Independence, 114 Corn Shop Lane, Farmington, Maine, 04938. Or, number 3, you can email the application to farmington.dhhs@maine.gov. The 4th way to submit your MaineCare application is to fax the application to 207-778-8429. And the 5th way is you can visit the district offices and apply in person. However, it is recommended that you check to see if they're open given the pandemic situation. And so, if you want to know, am I eligible for MaineCare? You may be qualified for MaineCare if your monthly income falls below certain income thresholds and limits. Although income is not the only factor used to decide if you qualify, it's typically the best indicator to help you know if you might be eligible. You will be required to show proof of income, and we will help you cover that later in this video. What do I need to submit with my application? After you've completed your application and you've signed it, you want to make sure that you collect all of the documents that will be needed to make a determination on your eligibility. If you do not submit the correct documentation with your application, it will delay your potential approval for MaineCare. The proof you may need depends on the programs that you are applying for. Next is a list of items that you may need to give DHHS. Here is a list of items that you might need in order to prove your income and eligibility for MaineCare. Earned income. You may need to submit pay stubs, your most recent 4 weeks, employer statements verifying your gross wages, federal income tax returns, statements from your roomer or boarder, self-employment business records, up to 3 months if no tax return is possible, verification of income ending in the last 60 days. You may also need to submit unearned income, which could be Social Security, and you could submit your Social Security award letter, pension or retirement statement, alimony statement, child support payment records, unemployment or workers' comp benefits, interest or dividend statements, financial aid award letters, or veteran or military benefits. For your identity and citizenship, you may need to provide your driver's license or state ID card, your birth certificate, your passport, or your immigration or naturalization documents. Other documents that might also be required copies of medical insurance cards, student loan interest statements. And if you're applying for a program that checks assets, you might need bank statements, certificates of deposit, retirement funds like an IRA or a 401k, life insurance policies, and stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. So what happens after you submit your application? After you submit your application, you will be contacted if any additional documents or information is needed. You will receive a written notice indicating whether or not you have been enrolled in a MaineCare program. If you have created an account to access your information online, you will be able to check there for updates. We recommend that anybody who applies for MaineCare calls the MaineCare Eligibility Office at 1-855-797-4357 about 7 to 8 days after applying to check to make sure that they have the application and to also make sure they have all the necessary documents for your eligibility. So what if you're denied coverage? If you believe that you're denied an error, you can appeal that denial. You should contact the DHHS appeals office and appeal the denial within 30 days of the denial. You can contact Maine Equal Justice or Consumers for Affordable Healthcare for additional help. The contact information for Maine Equal Justice is 1-866-626-7059, and Consumers for Affordable Healthcare can be reached at 1-800-965-7476. So what happens if it turns out that you're not qualified at all? If it turns out that you do not qualify for MaineCare, you may be eligible to receive financial help paying for health insurance when you purchase coverage through the individual marketplace. You can also learn more at coverme.gov or healthcare.gov, or you could also feel free to, again, reach out to Maine Equal Justice Partners or Consumers for Affordable Healthcare. So now that we've discussed how to apply for MaineCare, who can get MaineCare? You may be eligible for MaineCare if you are between the ages of 21 and 64 and are not eligible for Medicare, if you're a parent or a caretaker of a child under the age of 18 that's living with you. You might be eligible for MaineCare if you are a child or a young adult under the ages of 21 years old. You may also be eligible for MaineCare if you are aged out of the foster care system and are under 26 years of age. You may also get MaineCare if you are 65 years or older or have a disability. There are income limits for some people to get MaineCare. People who are 65 years and older or have a disability must also be below certain asset levels. But many assets, like a home, a car, and more, do not count against you. So assets. Assets are only looked at for people who are 65 years and older. Many assets will not count against you. You can own a home and the land that the home is on, cars, and many other assets, and still get MaineCare coverage. Let's talk about a couple assets that do not count against you. The family's home and surrounding land. Basic items used for day-to-day living, such as furniture, tools, and equipment. You can have 2 cars, but the second must be needed for work, medical treatment, daily living needs, or modified for use for transportation for a person with a disability. Property used to produce income, such as boats, trucks, or machinery. Money in a savings account or a checking account. CD, pension plan, and IRA can have up to $8,000 for a single person or up to $12,000 for a family of 2 or more. You can also have an additional $2,000 as an individual or $3,000 in savings as a couple. You can have real estate land that is for sale. You can also have loans that must be repaid. And you can also have a cash value of life insurance that the family has purchased, and up to $10,000 in a family development account that can only be spent on certain things. Other less common assets can be listed and found at DHHS or by calling. And remember, assets do not count for most people. If you have any questions about asset limits or how to apply for MaineCare or any questions that we might have covered in this video, please feel free to reach out for Consumers for Affordable Healthcare at 1-800-965-7476. And you can also always call Maine Equal Justice Partners at 1-866-626-7059. And good luck.